Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to our webinar slash presentation on our Illinois Legislative Latino Caucus Foundation Soy El Futuro Scholarship and Leadership Development Program application overview and sample guide. We hope that this presentation answers some common questions or concerns that you may have when you decide to apply to our scholarship. Of course, if there are any additional questions, please reach out to the Soy El Futuro Scholarship and Program Manager or an ILLCF staff member who can help support any specific questions you may have that aren't answered in this presentation. Okay, so a little bit about the Illinois Legislative Latino Caucus Foundation. The Illinois Legislative Latino Caucus Foundation, or ILLCF, is a 501c3 non-for-profit whose mission is to foster the next generation of Latino leadership while advocating for the needs and wants of the Latino community. Since our founding in 2002, the ILLCF has served as the public policy arm of the Latino Caucus and really aims to inform and promote equitable public policy that supports and advances Latino communities in the state of Illinois. We have three main program areas, one encompassing the Soy El Futuro Scholarship and Leadership Development Program, which encompasses the scholarship, but also includes our Alumni Association for those who receive the scholarship, our IESIS public policy work that includes our annual report and conference, as well as some other public policy initiatives. And then we have our Platicas program. Each year, the foundation awards $5,000 scholarships to outstanding Latino students who meet the eligibility criteria, and this scholarship was formerly known as the Michael W. Gonzalez Scholarship, which was created to help support students through their educational endeavors throughout higher education and so forth. So let's jump through our timeline. Our scholarship, as you may know, opened up on May 6, 2026, and is open until July 3rd. So you have a couple of months to apply for our scholarship. In July and August, once the scholarship closes, our reviewers have packets prepared for them that allow them to review your application, letter of recommendation, and so forth. This is done in a three-phase process. The first phase beginning with our Alumni Association Committee, then our board members, and then if there are any reasons to do a third round of review, we have our staff support this round. In September and October, we have internally selected the winners, and then we'll be notifying them as soon as we possibly can. And then in October, dates tentatively planned will be communicated for the leadership development training that happens. This is a 2-day leadership development seminar that encompasses different workshops, presenters, speakers for those that are selected for the Soy El Futuro Scholarship. And then in November, all of our awardees are invited to attend our annual gala and celebration and are awarded their scholarship on stage in front of over 800 attendees. And then we close out our year and all of the newest scholarship recipients are then a part of our Alumni Association. So let's jump into the scholarship criteria. An applicant must meet all of the eligibility requirements listed below to be considered for our scholarship. So we recommend that you please review each criteria carefully before you sit down and apply. So all applicants must be currently enrolled as either a part-time or full-time student in a certificate, vocational, technical, associate, undergraduate, or graduate program in an accredited college, university, or institution. Depending on their program of study, students will have different supplementary requirements. So some folks may be completing a shorter personal statement, others may be doing a small writing prompt or a business plan. And please refer to the application outline section for more details. The eligibility requirements are as followed. You must be of Latino ancestry, must have a home residence in Illinois. Previous winners of the scholarship are not eligible to apply, and students, regardless of immigration status, are eligible to apply. To complete the application, it must be completed in full, and a letter of recommendation needs to be submitted with all applications, regardless of program of study. So now let's jump into the differences between the applications. For our certificate technical vocational bucket, folks will be asked to submit a business or professional plan and also complete a short writing question on what differences will this scholarship make in your education and in your personal life and family. And we're looking for 250 words. For the bachelor's and associate's program bucket, we are looking for a personal statement with a max of 1,000 words. And what we'd like you to answer is, please describe how receiving the Soy El Futuro scholarship would help you achieve your educational career goals, advance your personal growth, and impact your community. And then at the graduate level, we have one writing prompt that is max 2,000 words. And we'd like you to answer, how will you use your educational and professional experiences to better the Latino community in your respective field? We do include an optional question, given that we know that Latinos have a variety of different experiences. Maybe we're going back to school, maybe we have multiple jobs, maybe we're, haven't necessarily had the ability to have a wide range of experiences for whatever reason. We are committed to supporting those diverse experiences of the Latino students, and we would love to know what that situation looked like for you. And so this question really serves as an opportunity to get a better understanding of those circumstances, provides the student an opportunity to explain anything that they would like that maybe isn't already being asked in the application, and or provides further explanation to any gaps or things of that nature. There are no points associated with this question, just as an FYI. For graduate students, there are a couple extra questions that are of options to respond to. So we also ask about invited talks and presentations. So we'd like to know whether or not you maybe have had the opportunity to present at any invited talks, conferences, or presented any topic to a community. Next, we also ask questions regarding any potential research opportunities or experiences that you've had. And so please list any research projects that maybe you're working on, maybe a thesis or a dissertation, because we'd love to learn more about what you're working on as it relates to that. When it comes to our letter of recommendation, as I mentioned earlier, all applicants are required to submit a letter of recommendation along with any of the specific materials related to their program type application. This includes the personal statement, the business template, or other supporting documents like as mentioned, and we'll go through that a little bit later. So the letter of recommendation must be submitted at the time of the application. When you're submitting your application, you will also be required to provide your recommender's full name, the organization, their email address, and phone number. And please make sure to contact your reference in advance and confirm that you have the correct information. Your letters of recommendation may come from a variety of different folks. So it may be from a teacher, a professor, an academic advisor, employer, or a mentor that can strongly attest to your merit, the skills that you have, and why they believe that you can make a difference in the Latino community or the community at large. So we want you to be application ready. And so what does that mean? For all applicants, we highly recommend that you have all your supporting documents, required essays based on your program, your letter of recommendation, and then thinking about how you'd like to answer the optional question if you so choose. For the different program applications, you will obviously need some of the things that we mentioned. So the technical, vocational, and certificate program, you'll have that short writing response and the business and professional plan. There is a template and some resources to help support you in the creation of that. For the associate's and bachelor's degree program, have your writing for the personal statement ready. And then for the graduate level question, have your writing ready for that question as well. And so, again, if any of, any questions pop up from what I just presented, please again reach out to our Soy El Futuro Leadership Program Coordinator or a staff member. So now we're going to go through the sample of the application, and this is the identical to the 2026 ILLCF Soy El Futuro Scholarship that you will see online. So starting from the top, we basically just thank you for your interest. We outline the eligibility criteria, what you will need to submit alongside your application, and that this must be completed in one sitting. And then highly encourage you to be mindful of the due date. All applications are due on July 3rd, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So as you can see, this is where we have the vocational certificate technical program applicant page. So if you are one of these folks, you will be seeing this pop up. You will see what you need to complete. So we have the question, the short answer question, as well as the business plan. We have the template that you can download. This needs to be uploaded as a PDF document. And then we've got some helpful resources such as a cheat sheet for the business plan, a link to the U.S. Small Business Association that discusses how to create a business plan, and the Forbes template for a business plan. The goal of this exercise is not to necessarily assume that you want to become a business owner, but for you to walk through the template and the guide to think through as a critical thinking exercise. Then we have the personal information. So we'll have your name, email for your personal email, as well as a professional email address, whether that be through work and or your university or school. We'd love to know how you heard about the scholarship. And then as you'll see, we've got the 3 criteria / eligibility questions. So have you received the scholarship before? Do you have a parent or parents of Latino ancestry? If you can, please specify the country of origin. And then, is your home residence Illinois? All applicants' home residence must be in Illinois. Students are able to attend schools or institutions outside of Illinois so long as their home residence is in Illinois. Students without immigration status or DACA recipients whose home residence is Illinois are welcome to apply. And as defined by the U.S. Census Bureau, Hispanic Latino is an ethnic category, not a racial category. Students may be of any race. We'll collect your home address, phone number, date of birth, gender, and then if you have a LinkedIn profile, we highly suggest that you put this in there. Just that allows our reviewers to see what you've been up to and see how you are active in different professional endeavors. Then we'll ask which program of study you are seeking your education in, the name of the college or institution, your student ID. This is very important should you receive the scholarship because it allows us to send that scholarship check to the institution and it appropriately finds you. And then we need the address of the financial aid office. This is where your check will be sent. And so please make sure that this information is accurate. And then the financial aid office email address as well. Then we ask some questions about your cumulative grade point average, your major, if you have a minor, and then your anticipated date of graduation. Next, we ask some questions about different experiences that you may have. First, we'd like to know if you have any honors, awards, or special recognition that you might have received either through school, volunteering, employment, etc. Then we'd love to know what extracurricular activities you're involved in. And we consider an extracurricular activity as any activity outside of the traditional school coursework, such as outside clubs, internships, personal hobbies, and or supporting or caregiving for someone in your family. And then for community service, we describe community service as any volunteer service outside of the traditional volunteer work and or involvement with the community through clubs, churches, or community-based institutions. And we'd like to have the organization name, some responsibilities that you've had and or projects you've worked on, and then the dates that you were completing that service. As mentioned, the graduate students and undergraduate students have questions regarding research projects, invited talks or presentations. We'd love to see if you have that experience. And then there is that optional question regarding any information that you would like to share that was not already asked. We do ask for a portrait or a photo of yourself. This is because we'd love to see the face of the applicant, as well as once we select our winners, we do a social media post highlighting the recipients. And we strongly encourage for it to be a professional photo and not be a selfie. We then go through your financial need for the scholarship. Although financial need is an important factor in our assessment, lack of financial need is not a disqualifier. So we'd love to know the estimated annual cost for your attendance at your institution, your annual household income, whether or not your parents or family are helping support you financially through school, the total amount that parents and or your family are helping provide towards school expenses. If you are working, the total amount of employment income that you are putting towards your educational expenses, any scholarships that you may have received for the 2026 to 2027 school year, and the total amount of loans taken out. And if you would like to support any of these values with documentation, we have an optional upload area. If you know anything about the Illinois Legislative Latino Caucus Foundation, you know that half of our board are members of the Latino Caucus. And so we want to know who your state senator is and who your state representative is. We include a website that allows you to look for that. Please take the time to figure out who is your state senator and state representative and not your congressperson. Then we kind of dive a little bit deeper into the different additional components that we will submit for the scholarship. For those that are in the technical vocational program, they have the business and professional plan as mentioned earlier. They will be answering the question, what difference will this education make in your personal life and your family? And then for those that are applying on behalf of an associate's and or bachelor's degree, we ask them to please describe how receiving the scholarship would help them achieve their educational career goals, advance their personal growth, or impact their community. And then as mentioned earlier for the graduate program, we ask, how will you use your education and professional experiences to better the Latino community in your respective fields? Then, as mentioned, we ask for the reference letter contact information. So we'd like to know their full name, email, phone number, and this is where you'll upload that letter of recommendation. When you provide their contact information below, an email is sent to the recommender on your behalf stating that you submitted their letter of support. And then at the end, we ask that you review the following statements that basically say that everything that you are submitting is truthful, the accuracy is correct, and that you meet the eligibility criteria of the scholarship program. And then you sign and date the application. We strongly encourage not falsifying any information, and we appreciate that. And so, Again, as I mentioned, if there are any questions that you may have regarding the scholarship, we strongly encourage you to reach out and we're excited to review your application. Thank you so much.